So I was talking to a sober friend the other day, and she said she felt she was falling short as a parent and a partner because she was putting so much energy into herself that she felt selfish. And I told her, that's how this works. If you don't make sobriety your number one priority, you will drink again. And if you do, everything will fall into place. You know, we often talk about the analogy of in a plane when they tell you to put on your oxygen mask, to do that first, then help the children. And that's exactly how this works. And then I asked her, remind me how long you've been sober. And she said, I just hit 10 months. And I asked how long, if that was the longest she'd gone, or what was it? And she said, yeah, that was, other than when she was pregnant. And that immediately hit me. And I said, if we could only instill that pregnancy mindset into everybody. And then I remembered that one of my favorite books, We Are the Luckiest, and the author Laura McKowen has a thing called the pregnancy principle. So that's what I want to talk about today, and it falls right in line with that, and it's immediately what I relayed to my friend. Laura said how everyone gave her advice when she got pregnant for the first time, most of it unsolicited and unwanted, but there were a few prizes, and among them were, this time is about you and the baby. You do exactly what you need to do. Nobody's going to argue with a pregnant woman. And she said that really felt like it unlocked a hidden secret of the universe, and she had a free pass to do exactly what she wanted to do, really listen to her body, sleep all she wanted, eat whatever she felt like, bag out on social events, and in essence, just be unapologetically selfish with her energy and time. And she talked about how truly liberating it was to have a built-in, socially acceptable excuse to practice extreme self-care. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant as it relates to the recovery process. She said so when she was pregnant, but again, extrapolate this, she focused on her body and her home. She let her husband take care of her, stayed in beds on weekends, did reading and listening to books, didn't shower much, ate a lot of Sour Patch Kids and Eggo waffles slathered with butter, started a blog, and completed a 200-hour yoga training. And this is right in line with what I've talked about in terms of, especially the first 30, 60 days of priority. All you have to do is not drink. And that really goes for all of sobriety. That defines a successful day. It's a wonderfully low bar we have. One of the many reasons we are the luckiest. So you can eat and drink non-alcoholic, whatever you want. And it's important. It's actually important you do that, because it prevents other cravings. So, she goes on to talk about it was the kindest she'd ever treated herself. And although there was still a decent amount of stress and anxiety, she let a lot of stuff go. So her pregnancy principle has 4 components. Your well-being comes first. In the case of early sobriety, and really any sobriety, your well-being is defined as physical sobriety. It's the only way you stand a shot at anything else. It's amazing the trade-offs we make to allow ourselves to drink and screw our future selves, despite the fact that, as she says, it's the only way to stand a shot at anything else. To me, to stand a shot at truly living, both figuratively and literally in most cases. So that's one. Your well-being comes first. Number 2, if it doesn't support your well-being, don't do it. Reminds me of one of my favorite quotes. In early sobriety especially, and again, all of it, sobriety, all of life, go outside your comfort zone, but stay inside your strength zone. If there's any question about it, don't do it. And as you do hard things sober, via baby steps, your strength zone will expand. But especially early on, do not test the limits. So, and again, she likened it to pregnancy. If you might be into running one day, but all of a sudden, at 6 months of pregnancy, you're not anymore. Eggs might have been making you sick, and then all of a sudden at month 8, you're craving nothing but omelet. She said, pregnancy isn't logical, and neither is this. Things that might have made you happy in the past might not anymore. And if, again, there's a risk of triggering you or that you'll need to drink to get through them, don't do it. So again, if it doesn't support your well-being, don't do it. Next is be unapologetically selfish with your energy and time. She says if there's ever a time to be selfish, it is now. Say no to a lot. Don't call everyone back. Don't answer all your texts. Don't book up your weekends. Go to bed early. Eat ice cream. If you have kids, Lower your expectations as a parent as well as those as a spouse. Tell your partner what you need and let it be okay if he or she doesn't get what they need. And find people that get it. Treat yourself as if you were pregnant. And she also used an example at work. She said, I just showed up to work and did my job. I didn't go above and beyond. Which made me think of, stop killing yourself or you will kill yourself. So again, that's number 3. Be unapologetically selfish with your energy and time. It's the most precious act and most generous act you can possibly perform. Because by prioritizing your well-being, you're better equipped to help others from a place of abundance and strength rather than depletion. As I say, you can't pour from an empty cup. And again, it goes to that analogy of putting your oxygen mask on first. And the last, number 4, the pregnancy principle is F everything and everyone else for a while. You're saving a life and you're building a new one. So in closing, she said, many of her hang-ups in life, particularly in sobriety, have come from worrying about what other people think, what they would do, how they would see her, what they would say, and what all this meant about her. And she suffered every time she let those thoughts make decisions for her. How many choices you gave up to alcohol, to other people's opinions, to the shoulds and the expected tos and the ideas you had about yourself and life that simply weren't true. There's a great quote, don't should all over yourself. That's about shifting your mindset from a mindset of obligation and guilt to one of self-acceptance and aligned action. Again, to be aligned with living, both figuratively and literally, life and death battle. So I'll end with my sober mantra along those lines. Who cares? And trust me, in early sobriety, you feel like you have no skin, but you stay sober, stay patient, do hard things sober, and before you know it, not only will you redevelop skin, but you'll develop the thickest skin you've ever had in your life. That'll do it. As always, remember, stronger, sober, and do not hesitate to be selfish during this process. You're doing everyone a favor in doing so. All right, please like, share, subscribe. Thanks.